big hello and a very warm welcome to Brand Equity with me, Sonali Krishna. Bangalore-based Insurtech unicorn ACKO is all set to disrupt the health insurance space with its first ever health insurance product in the segment. The startup is targeting customers who are comfortable buying products online. Now, for the uninitiated, ACKO was founded in November 2016, a tech company that is looking to solve real-world problems for customers with insurance. It is India's only tech-first insurer and has redefined the insurance category. As a new-age brand, ACKO's attempt has been to bring into focus fair pricing, convenience, and superior customer experience. The company aims to be the one-stop destination for all the protection needs of their customers. It is targeted in its approach and operates in auto insurance, embedded insurance, travel insurance, health insurance, and of course, it's soon about to make its debut with life insurance. Joining me today in the studio is ASHISH MISHRA, Executive Vice President Marketing, and Rupinder Singh, the Business Head of ACKO, to talk about this company's ambitious plans. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me right here on Brand Equity.
Thank you, Sonali, for having us here today.
Of course, first things first, your campaign has made a lot of sound, across platforms, and it was refreshing to see the two beloved characters with Munna Bhai and Circuit making their comeback. I'll talk about the ad a little bit later, but I want to start with the fact that you've launched this health insurance product, which is a D2C product and somebody who can directly buy insurance online. This is something that, in your opinion, is very new, or people have started taking to this slowly, or you're expecting people with your education, awareness, and of course, efficiency to take this on?
So essentially, Sonali, if you see the insurance industry, it is estimated around sub 5%, all kinds of insurance are bought online, direct to consumer by consumers and the insurance companies interacting with each other directly. What we've seen in health insurance in the recent years, also with the advent of COVID, a lot of consumers actually looked and researched for health insurance online. From a new acquisitions point of view, the health insurance would be a domain where greater than 10% of consumers are now buying health insurance for the first time online.
So you have that number, like offline versus online, in the industry-wise, people actually buying health insurance?
So essentially, COVID made the transition for most of the insurance companies, whether in any of the categories. Most of the insurance products are now enabled one or the other way with digital platforms.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that was the only way to go for most of the insurance companies within COVID. What we've seen is the adoption rates going down post-COVID. For us at ACKO, digital is the only way.
Okay.
And I think what's more important is ACKO is designed for this particular target audience, which has an app-first mentality, right? So if you feel that, I'd rather have an app for that, or I should be able to do it on myself, that's the consumer that really, really warms up to ACKO. If you're able to educate the customer on his journey, and if they feel that they're getting all their answers while they're trying to buy a particular insurance product,
right,
they're far more comfortable.
Okay.
And obviously, the fact that we are a direct D2C company, we are able to pass on huge amounts of savings to the consumer for the actual product.
So, of course, the first benefit is that you are, definitely cheaper than your peers, right? I want to understand your target group. Obviously, it's a young target group. What would it be, 18 to 30?
No, I think my friend's father is 72. He's an ACKO auto customer for the last 3 years. We've seen high adoption rates, obviously, in the younger audiences, between 28 to 45.
Okay.
That's a huge base for us.
I have two rejoinders. One is the fact that in this target group, especially the young millennials, right, who've just started working, is insurance something that is top of mind for them? Because when you're young, you're quite carefree and you believe you can overcome everything. So, for instance, is it a generational change you see from, let's say, when we were, young working professionals to today's young work? Are they more focused on investments, on insurance? Have you seen that mindset change?
a lot of youngsters start investing at an early age, and that also is due to the other initiatives within the category. A lot of mutual fund savings have started at an early age. That's the power of compounding. At the same time, we've seen in the last 5 to 7 years, a lot of younger consumers have started to buy products at an early age. Young couples, single individuals have started to make purchases for health insurance. One could say that there is a generational difference which has started to play.
But my question would be, if you are targeting this tight group, which is digital first, a digital generation, app savvy, and likes control, wouldn't you agree that you're kind of closing down the opportunity of growth because it'll be a slow growth, or are you comfortable with that?
This base that we're talking about is approximately 100 million customers in India. And that's a huge base to tap into. Okay. In fact, insurance as a category is so underpenetrated, right? We thought most people tend to rely on their corporate insurance and not actually buy retail, and which is sad. And hopefully, our education, the campaigns and the education will help encourage awareness about the product.
Having said that, the traditional way of health insurance is that if somebody gets hospitalized, you call up your agent, and that agent is the friendly face, and he comes and tackles the issue for you and tries and gets you the claim. How are you breaking that barrier, saying and ensuring that a player like you gains trust with the customer, saying that you don't need this person because finally you're asking me to trust an app versus an individual who's known to my family. How are you playing with that psychosis and building trust?
It's fairly simple from our side. It's basis technology, transparency, and operational excellence. So an individual agent comes into picture when a consumer feels that they are not getting a solution from the insurance company. Insurance company is not being transparent. Such factors create that barrier for consumers to not being able to trust the insurance companies directly. We're solving that with transparency. The consumers are on the app, they're able to see all the status changes whenever there is a claim. Whenever there is a transaction which is happening, they don't even need to call us. Everything gets updated on the app. That's how we're solving for that.
We have introduced features like you can just scan your bill and upload it, and that's where the Munna circuit film is scan karwanu, juice piwanu. Yeah. So you're making it a lot more easier. If you make it a lot more easier, the consumer is a lot more comfortable in doing that.
Right. You've also stated that there are some key benefits to go with ACKO versus others, and you've looked at solving that problem. One is you've talked about the fact that you have zero waiting period. Explain that so that the customer, my viewers and even me understand what you actually mean. Zero waiting period, you're saying that you will clear the entire bill. I know because of several hospitalizations in the family that usually the entire bill is never cleared, right? And there is always partial payment to be made by us. So how are you managing all of this in a cost-efficient way for the business as well?
So Sonali, Varun founded this company, right?
Yeah.
He really wanted to disrupt the insurance sector. So that's why the way we sell, the way we build, the way we help process claims, everything had to be redesigned. So when it came to health insurance, and that's why we've taken our own time in launching this, is because we really wanted to get down to the brass tacks and trying to understand what are the real problems consumers actually face. And the last thing you want to know when you're in a hospital is whether your bill is going to get paid or not, how much are you claim, etc. That's where the starting point. And all these benefits that we have created are designed specifically to solving these problems.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Why should you not have, when you have bought an insurance, why should it not be get full 100% bill paid? Why should your coverage be low? Right? Why should there be, if a healthy person wants to take a health insurance right now, why should there be a waiting period for that person? So these were some real questions. Now, how to go about solving them, that was an interesting challenge which our product and tech guys have done, and I'm really proud of that.
As you rightly, at the start mentioned that there is a bit of mistrust. right? One is if I'm hospitalized, my claim should be paid 100% because I've paid 100% of the premium.
Right.
Right. So it was a simpler problem to solve and making sure that everything gets paid for the consumer. When we onboard customers, if they're healthy, we are able to provide them day one coverage. For the non-healthy lives, or let's say people who have pre-existing conditions or past medical history, we are able to provide an appropriate coverage for them. In addition to these features as well, we have, we also figured at the time of COVID, rooms were not available. Single private rooms were not available, and hence we put it in the product saying that any room category that one chooses gets covered within the product. At the same time, also within the category, if you see the smaller sum insureds like 5 lakh and 10 lakhs are probably the prominent sum insureds which have been sold in the past few years.
Yeah.
We've designed the product in such a way that we're able to make the consumer understand that the healthcare inflation in India hovers around 10%. What that means for a consumer is if, let's say, they undergo a heart procedure today for 2 lakhs, next year it is going to be 2.2 lakhs. 5 years down the line, it will reach somewhere around 5 lakhs. So within that kind of a segment problem, it is very important to take higher sum insured.
We genuinely believe that most Indians are so underinsured that you're once major illness away from financial disaster, right? And to encourage you up the ladder, the pricing is such that the difference between a 1 crore or a 10 lakh is not going to be very steep. It's actually in your favor to go for the higher cover and make sure that you are stress-free.
Sure. But this kind of psyche where, you're thinking that in the eventuality I fall sick, but if I don't fall sick, that money goes waste, which is a general way of, people's thinking. Even if you look at life insurance, they're like, it's a waste of my premium if I don't die or if I don't fall sick. Is that changing?
I think it's a little sad truth that, we want a cashback for an insurance.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But what, for example, if you get your car insured and you touch wood, if nothing happens to your car, you're okay with that, right? So why don't we bring the same thinking when it comes to health? I'm happy to pay for health insurance. I hope I never have to use it. Right? That's the difference.
You talked about the fact that you've, customized this in a way which is going to be a lot more hassle-free for customers. If you cracked it, why is it that all the larger players have not cracked it?
We strongly believe insurance is broken in India. It's not designed for the consumer. And if you put the consumer at the center and you start doing all the right things for them, that's when the trust factor will go up. That's where the adoption rate will go up. And hopefully all the players will come in with really customer-centric features that will eventually help all majority of Indians.
So, by what you're saying, right, from what you just said, that the insurance industry is broken and it is not designed keeping the customer in the forefront. If that is actually accurate, then is it completely justified for customers to have the trust deficit with the insurance industry?
So it's a two-way streak, Sonali. Insurance companies burnt their hands because there was some handful, of practices that some segment of consumers did fraudulent activities, and hence most of the insurance companies started to design products to keep those fraudulent segments out, not realizing that that is counterproductive to the good customers.
If you could just make me understand, my viewers, when you say the insurance system is broken, what exactly do you mean by that?
For example, the kind of products that we have.
Sure.
So, for example, in health insurance, there is a 30-day wait period. There is a 2-year wait period. There is a 4-year pre-existing diseases wait period.
So, I'm assuming what you're actually saying is that people in the past have taken an insurance when they were about to be hospitalized.
Yes.
And hence have misused
Yes.
The services, and hence there has been a trust deficit from both ends.
Yes.
Okay. How are you going to ensure that? We are Indians, we are Jugadis.
So we underwrite our consumers at the time of onboarding. So what happens, and the way we explain this, the broken nature of the category is, there is not much due diligence which is done at the time of onboarding. And when a customer's claim comes, that is when the most due diligence happens, and hence the claims get rejected. That creates mistrust in the consumer category, and at the same time, the process at the initial stage was broken. What we're trying to do is have a very robust onboarding process. If required, have health checkups also done for our consumers, declare all their health conditions, so that in future there is no situation that their claim can get rejected.
But the whole point where people do not actually talk about all their pre-existing conditions is because they'll have to pay a higher premium. And to circumvent that is why people hide that information.
People may hide that information, but in most of the situations we've seen across the category, multiple insurance companies, most of those claims get rejected. And that's where the mistrust gets created as a conversation within the rest of the consumers.
No, my question is pointed. This has been the practice so far, right? Yeah. I've seen your campaign where you've said, be transparent, and it'll help you with your claim getting passed, right? It won't get rejected. But if this is the inherent behavior and practice of the customer, what makes you think it'll be different for you?
So only fundamentally we believe most customers are honest, and there's a very small segment that probably tries to, unfortunately, do fraud. And we don't want to build systems that because of that one very small segment, the rest 99% of the segment gets penalized. So the mantle is on us to do all of our checks and balances to make sure that we've given the right product to the right customer.
So now coming to you specifically about brand awareness, I believe when you joined the company and you did a dipstick survey about ACKO's general brand awareness in the market, you're pretty shell-shocked that nobody was really aware of this brand. You've really undertaken a mammoth task of putting the brand out there, and I think with this latest campaign, I think you've hit it out of the park. Tell me, what were your findings when you first did the dipstick survey, and what did you undertake to ensure that the brand is now top of mind and then also in the consideration set when a customer takes a decision?
So yeah, I think when I joined, I very soon discovered that ACKO is India's best kept secret. Like you've got one of the best products in the market. You design and your distribution is great through your pricing is fabulous. So out of the 4 P's, 3 P's were already taken care of. The only thing left for us as a marketing team was to make sure that we do very strong promotion about it. Quality of awareness of what exactly do you do was the next big hurdle.
Sure.
And I think that's when India मान लो ACKO ACKO app download कर लो. The Arshad Wasi campaign was the first one that helped us get through that hurdle. And now the latest efforts are on auto, which is specifically telling consumers about very niche features, right? That yes, you can save a lot of money when you're buying a brand new car, but you buy the insurance from us. Or the fact that ACKO has strong claim settlement capabilities. Now this is the level of quality of awareness we're trying to tackle.
Sure.
I'm very happy to say, glad our associations with IPL, etc., has also really helped us in scaling we have a very strong sports sponsorship platforms. So yeah, with the right use of I think promotions and advertising and sports sponsorships, we have now scaled that big hurdle. And as you rightly said, Munna and Circuit have just taken it out of the park to a next level.
Let's talk about conversions, right? Because I'm sure people on the board look at the marketing head and say, okay, great, you're invested so much, but what is the conversion? So let's say from 2020, when you first started your dipstick survey and embarked on this investment phase, brand investment phase, which was critical, till date, if you had to look at that entire tenure and look at the kind of conversion has taken place and the growth of your consumer acquisition, what would you say it's been?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, it's been a great journey. We have gone from a base of roughly around 2-3 crore customers to now 8 crore happy customers across all our product portfolios.
And this growth has come, since the brand investment started?
Yes. Okay. So, since 2020, almost 2020. Yeah. And in fact, our auto portfolio has gone up from used to be around 3-4 lakh customers base, now to around 10-12 lakhs. So, touch wood, I mean, all good.
So let's talk about the campaign, which I think brings a smile to both your faces. Otherwise, all the serious questions got you quite deep in thought. Why did you choose these two rather strange characters, of course iconic but strange, for a campaign that is looking to build trust with the customers?
So, what I was really happy about that our product and tech teams have built such a simple product and such a product that is actually designed for the customer. And this is how health insurance should be, right? So when we were discussing about that, the idea popped up because these two characters have a way of looking at society from the outside and commenting on saying, why is it not like this? So for example, patient ko patient kyun bolte hain, right? Why can't we call him by the name? And 100% bill payment should be there. Why is it not a unique feature? So they were so right to come and critique from outside, and that's what the campaign does, right? It takes up the benefits and actually talks about and simplifies it. And it's funny, it's 2003 was the first Munna by MBPS. 2023 we brought them back, so we were pretty excited. We went to once you crack the main idea, the bigger part was the execution of it.
Yeah, sure.
And thankfully we got Raju sir to come on board to guide us. He knows the characters better than anybody else, right? We were equally thrilled. We were also worried that when you're bringing two iconic characters back, you better get it right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to fall very flat.
But, now you've set the benchmark very high because you've launched your health insurance product with these two. You're now launching Life, which is next month. So how do you better it?
Yeah, I think that's a question everyone's asking me in the company, and I have no clue right now. But thankfully I have some time to think about it. The life insurance is going to be a soft launch, and the campaign will go live a lot more later. Again, I think we work with the great partners, and together we will create something iconic again.
So you're going at the same path, reviving old iconic characters to tell a story, which is simplistic, or are you changing your strategy?
You'll have to watch this space, but what I genuinely believe is that what we've demonstrated with Munna and Circuit is the use of celebrities that has never been done before.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not Sanjay Dutt and Arshad, it's Munna and Circuit.
Yeah.
So if you have to revive, can you also showcase celebrities in their original iconic avatars? Now that would be a great way. I genuinely believe. But I think fundamentally we have to do right for each product.
Okay.
And I think Munna and Circuit selling health insurance or talking about health insurance is the perfect combination we could think of.
A question that will need some thought, I think. Both of you are now, of course, senior professionals in the insurance sector. Name me a couple of things that you love about the insurance sector, working in the sector, and a couple of things that you just can't stand.
I think the lack of apathy towards insurance as a category by consumers,
sure.
That is the biggest hurdle, And in that ladder, if you think about it, travel was probably the least, car, then health, and maybe life, right? That's the ladder. And most consumers would not even know which insurance do they have. And that's the apathy that we struggle with, the lack of awareness and the importance of what insurance can do for you.
And something you love?
Basically, if you actually see, insurance is safeguarding people.
Yes.
Safeguarding them against the financial stress that they can have in the eventuality. That is a contributory role to the society at large. We are happy to be associated to the industry in such a way which helps people at large, making sure that they have protection against the financial stresses that they can have because of various events.
Sure. Well, on that note, I think it's wonderful that you're attempting to make products which are simpler, more transparent, and, as you promise, efficient, with the customer at the forefront. I wish you all the very best for your innings. The innings is, of course, very long as India slowly but gradually gains trust in the insurance space. Here's wishing you and your entire team all the very best.
Thank you for having us here today.